recall some of the early reviews you had? Did it devastate you? Were you torn by?
Well, I used to read reviews when I was in a play, which I ultimately stopped doing altogether, because the only voice that you can listen to when you're in a play is the voice of your director. And I think that ultimately, whether they're really good reviews or whether they're really bad reviews, they can somehow get in your head. And things are pointed out sometimes in reviews that are just a part of your stream of consciousness. Because when you're up playing a role, you're just going from A to Z. You're not carving out moments. And so if a critic says, oh, the way in which he picked that glass up at that moment in the play, and the thing was so amazing. Then, like, you go to pick up the glass and you're like, oh wait, this is an amazing moment. So you have to kind of avoid specific stuff like that, because it can just get in the way. But also because you have to go up and do it every night. And for any of you who play sports, it's exactly what doing theater is like. Because even though you might play, tennis 5 nights a week, it's a different game every time you get on a court. You're working on a different part of your game, and theater is so alive in that way that it's better you just keep all those particular voices outside. What I generally do is I have all the reviews collected, and then about 6 months after the play is over, I sit with a nice whiskey and I read them all at once, and that's pretty fun.
Well, there's a saying, of course, that we learn from our mistakes. When you look back in your career now, are there significant moments where you can look back and think, that was a big moment for me, and that was one thing that I've really learned from it?
Oh yeah, and I think you learn about your own performance, you learn about what your weaknesses are and what your strengths are, both in terms of film work and in terms of theater work. What I love, I think, so much about theater is that it gets better. I mean, the truth is, no matter how good you might be in a movie, you'll never be any better. You'll never get a chance to do it again. You'll never get a chance to live in a role the way that you do in the theater. And I can tell you that when I start previews for a play, and you do like 2 weeks of previews before the critics come in, that's an incredible experience to start to share a play with an audience, and what the audience teaches you, and what other actors who are growing in their roles are doing new things, and it all starts to grow. And then 12 weeks later, I can't even remember what I was doing in previews, because the journey has been so extraordinary. We've learned so much. The performance has grown. The depth of it has grown. And that's what I love about theater so much, is you get this chance to improve it and make it better and make it better and make it better. And in film, film is a very isolating, very unorganic experience, because if we were shooting a scene here tonight, not that he's acting, but if we were shooting a scene here tonight, we would come and we'd spend 4 or 5 hours, 8 hours maybe, shooting different camera angles, and then you'd go away, and I'd never see you again. You might get invited to the premiere. And then tomorrow I'd be doing scenes with some other actor, and you never get to play the whole character. You play little strips, little beats, little moments of the character, and a director and an editor put it all together. Whereas in theater, you play it every night from A to Z, and you get a chance to make it better, make it better, make it better.
I guess one could argue that